Everyone, we are doing topic levels of teaching, which is of use to students who are preparing for UGC NET examination or for teacher eligibility test, and in general to all the students who are doing B.Ed. And this topic is of importance to all the teachers as well as the parents who want to help their learners with different levels of teaching. In the previous class, we tried to understand that why there should be different levels of teaching. And there we try to understand that as teaching is a very dynamic process and it is depending upon the need of the learner, which is ever changing according to his age, ability, and the content which we are choosing to teach the student, that also may vary in complexity, or sometimes we see that the content which we are going to teach the learner, that is very new to him, so we need to give him some basic knowledge which is related to the work which is done in that particular field. It may be containing some definitions, some terminology, some facts, or some information which is related to that topic which we want to teach the learner. And sometimes our need is that we want to interact with the learners who are mature enough, who have developed their mental capabilities, who are more intelligent as compared to those students who are slow learners. So there the same method of teaching which we are using with the young learners, that will not be suitable. So there we have to teach them at a different level so that they can use the knowledge which they have already gathered to solve the problems of their life. So we have clearly understood that teaching proceeds at different level, and for further study we will be dividing levels of teaching at 3 levels, that is named as memory level, and above memory level there is understanding level, and above understanding is reflective level. So what we see that teaching can proceed at 3 levels, that is memory level, understanding level, and reflective level. And these levels, they are differentiated from each other based on the capabilities of the learner and the teacher, the content, and it is also dependent upon what type of knowledge we are going to provide them. So based on that, we have devised different methods of teaching, as well as we have devised different evaluation methods. There may be different motivation levels which we need to understand so that all the learners, they can be benefited at the level at which we are teaching them. Memory level, it is called as most thoughtless level. Why thoughtless level? Because the learner is expected to just memorize the facts or just mug up the information that is being provided to him, and usually the method used at memory level is based on rote learning. Whereas when we are talking about understanding level, which builds upon memory level, then the learner is expected to be able to form association between different types of knowledge that he has gathered, different type of facts that he has learned, and comprehend the real meaning behind the words or sentences that he might be reading. Understanding level is based on memory level. That means that without having certain set of information or facts, or without having a base which is developed on the memory level, we cannot proceed to understanding level. Understanding level, it is called as thoughtful level. Why thoughtful? Because here the learner has to do certain activities where he has to apply his cognitive abilities, and he has to learn to form associations, or he has to learn the connections between different chunks of knowledge that he has received. The third level of teaching is reflective level, which is called as upper thoughtful, and you may find it mentioned as most thoughtful level. We must understand that reflective level, it will be built upon the base, that is the information or facts that he has gathered, and the association that he has formed between this information. When the learner is able to apply this understanding and memory to solve the problems of life, which might be posing him always new situations where he has to apply the knowledge or the understanding that he has gained, that level of teaching will be called as reflective level. Reflective level teaching is possible only with certain contents and with certain learners, where the cognitive abilities are developed, and he as a learner can find the solution to the problems that he may be facing in real life, and that solution is based on his understanding which he has gathered from the previous learning. Not only this, at reflective level, the learner is able to find ways and means of making new knowledge also. So that means advancement of knowledge or creativity, it comes at reflective level. So in reflective level, the learner is not having a ready-made knowledge, but he is trying to create new knowledge also. So these are three basic levels at which teaching may proceed. Before we go further, we must try to understand that what is the real meaning of memory, understanding and reflective, because we might be using these terms in our daily life, but how we are referring to these terms when we are talking about them in the field of education or in the field of psychology. As far as memory is concerned, memory is the mental ability to remember, recall and reproduce. So that means it is a capability of mind to remember what he is learning and to recall what he has already learned and reproduce the information that he has gathered previously. So that capability of mind which makes the learner capable of cramming or mugging up or remembering the information or the facts or different descriptions, and he is able to recall them at the right time. So whatever information he has gathered, if he is able to remember them when it is required, that will be called as recall. And if the same information is, he is able to say it in the same words or say it in the same content, then it will be called as that he is able to reproduce the knowledge. And this knowledge, it may be related to skills also. That means that not only facts or information which are abstract chunks of knowledge, he is able to learn certain skills also by learning at memory level. In common language, we may be using memory as the capability to cram up or mug up or to do rote learning, where the learner doesn't apply his abilities to understand the process. He just learns them as he is told. So that means all the information, it is coming down from teacher to learner, and teacher decides what information, how much of the information, in what way the information is to be transferred to the learner. So learner remains very passive. His only work is, or his only activity, or his only way of interacting in the process of learning is that he just stores that information in his memory, in his mind. As memorization is also a cognitive ability, but here the cognitive ability is of the lowest level. There is no insight developed at memory level. Insight means that he is not able to understand that how this information is related to the previously learnt information, or how it is going to help him achieve the goal which is decided by the teacher. Similarly, when we talk about understanding, so basically understanding means when we are able to perceive the real meaning. Now, this is a very common term used in daily life also. Perceiving meaning means that sometimes the meaning is not limited to the word meaning of the word which we are using. It may be having some inherent meaning, and sometimes in our language we might be using certain words which may be having more than one meanings, and the meaning changes as per the context. If the learner is able to perceive the real meaning, then it is taken as that he has understood. Similarly, grasping of idea. Grasping of idea means that, for example, there is some paragraph which the learner has learned, and he can understand that how the sentences they are correlated to each other, and what does the idea tells you about the content which is being taught. So he will be able to understand that even if certain words are changed or reframed, and certain sentences they are reframed, the idea behind the content remains same. So he doesn't have to understand, he doesn't have to memorize the words, but he has to understand the idea behind the words. Or in other words, we may call it that he is able to comprehend. Comprehension also means that he is able to understand the idea behind the content. We also may call understanding as ability to see relationships and if he is able to comprehend, then he can change the words or sentences and he can reproduce the idea by explaining it in his own words. So this will be called as understanding. So what we have seen, that it is also a kind of mental ability, but this mental ability is of higher level as compared to just remembering the words or remembering the sequence. And while he is comprehending or reproducing the idea, not the words, here in memory we are expecting him to reproduce word by word or fact by fact or information by information as he was told in the same sequence, in the same way, in the same words he is able to tell it, then it is called as memory. But if he can understand the idea behind it and he can explain that information in his own words, then it will be called as understanding level. So in both cases it is work of mental ability, but the level at which mind works, that is different. In literature we may use understanding at 3 different levels. So there the understanding also may be at 3 levels, which is called as syntactical, semantic and inductive. When we are talking about languages, then we take understanding at 3 levels, that is syntactical, that is word meaning, semantic, which is understanding the meaning of the sentence, and inductive, which is understanding the real meaning behind the phrase or context that is being used. Because in languages we know that certain phrases, they have different meaning as compared to the meaning of the words which is given in that, which we can say that whole is more than the sum total of the parts. So the phrases, they may not be having the same meaning which the words of that phrase may be having. So in general we can say that understanding may be at literal meaning, which we can say just knowing the word meanings, and inferential meaning, that means that he is able to understand that what does he infer from the knowledge that he has gained, and evaluative meaning, which is related to inductive understanding. Now let us talk about reflective level. How can we explain what is being reflective? Reflective level is related to problem solving. And those problems which are not structured or which are not decided in a hypothetical way, but those problems which the learner may be facing in real life. and real life being unpredictable, we can never have all types of problems, and we cannot prepare the learner beforehand. So we have to prepare the learner to learn the method of solving problems in the real life, because it is not talking about the past, it is talking about the future, and future being unpredictable, no teacher can make a learner know all the answers to the questions which might be posed to him in future. So what we do as teachers, we prepare the learner to think in a way so that he is able to solve the problems of his life. So it is more of teaching him how to think. So it is, rather than giving him a fish every day, we are teaching him how to catch the fish. Now, in this case, creativity is very important. He has to learn imagination and develop original thinking. That will be called as reflective. For this, he needs mental abilities to gain original thinking, creativity and imagine. So that means it is also a kind of mental ability. So what we have learned? We have learned that basically all levels of teaching, they are based on certain mental abilities. And the difference in their level is because of the mental ability that is required to know that knowledge which we are teaching at these different levels. Because mental ability of the young learner is low, so with the young students, we teach them at memory level. Similarly, when we are teaching a new content to a learner, there also the learner may not have developed that mental ability to solve that content. There also there is need to teach him at memory level. When he is having certain knowledge, then we teach him at understanding level. And when we interact with adult learner who has developed the mental ability to the level of creativity, imagination and original thinking, then only we can teach him at reflective level. So this cognitive ability is to create solution, and for developing this ability, the learner has to analyze, evaluate and create solution. So these are the basic reasons why there is need for different levels and how these different levels they differ from each other. In these levels, the real difference lies in the methods, content, the capabilities of learners and teachers, and because the methods of teaching will be different, so the different evaluative methods and different motivation levels are to be achieved. So because of this, we need to understand these three different levels by comparing them with reference to theories or who advocates them or promoter of this knowledge, because different educationists, different psychologists, they have advocated different levels of teaching. So we will be learning that who are different promoters or advocates of these levels of teaching and what different theories they underline these levels. Then there will be difference in objectives or aim of teaching, because as the aim and objective of the teaching will change, the level will also change. Subject matter or the content, and subject matter, it is being taught by method of teaching, which is called as pedagogy or andragogy. As the method of teaching will change, role of teacher and learner will also change, because teaching is an interactive process. So because of that, interactive activities that will also be different at different levels. Motivation, evaluation method, that also will depend upon the method of teaching. And we will also discuss merits and demerits, and suggestions how we can make teaching at different levels more effective. So as far as these three levels are concerned, we will be talking about or differentiating between these three levels on the basis of what theories underline them, what are different aims and objectives, what content we are going to choose, what method we will be using, what will be the role of teacher and student, what interactive activities will be used, how to maintain motivation and how to do evaluation at different levels, what are the merits and demerits of these methods, and if possible, we will try to understand how we can make teaching at these levels more effective. When we will be discussing methods of teaching, we will also be discussing how teaching technology is to be used, because we know that teaching proceeds through certain activities which act as input, certain process goes on, and in the end we get certain output. And at all different levels we can use different teaching technologies which will make the work easier and more effective for learner and student. So that will be the basic content on which we will be understanding these three levels. These three levels, they have different models of teaching. Now model of teaching means that what could be the syntax, what steps are to be followed, how the content is to be organized. So that also needs to be discussed. So in the next class, I will be discussing these three different levels in detail on the basis of these points. I hope this much of information has been useful to you, and in the lessons to come, we will be able to clearly understand how these three levels, they are different from each other and how we can make best use of them. Thank you very much, and let me hope that you have understood this lesson. In case there is any question, you are most welcome to ask.